I want to talk a little bit about a few bits and bobs. Some interesting stuff has come up, and I got to thank KR for bringing it up earlier on because he kind of briefly mentioned it, and then I didn't have a look, so I went back and I had a little look and kind of surprised, right, to what I saw. So let's talk about the market first, and then I'm going to get into this part where it seems that Binance, right, BNB, Binance, and XRP, Ripple, are both currently neck and neck, almost neck and neck, trying to go and take the dominance away from Solana. Also, my brother, salam to you. Nice to see you, Faisal. So very interesting stuff. When I looked at it, I was like, that's pretty interesting because I mean, usually there's a good, few million, if not billion difference. But what I saw there, I was like, interesting because they both seem to have a good chance. But if I was to put my money on one, which one would I put it on? So if you want to hear what I think, basically, stick around. All right. My name is Sham. This is your X File. The truth is always out there. First, I'm going to talk about the market. Now, with the market, BTC pumping back to 98k, right? Almost close to like getting towards the 99k. I wasn't happy about that. Right, because I've talked about this before as well. On the greater charts, we need BTC to stick around, hover around a smaller number, because the longer it spends on a lower number, like it doesn't go towards the 98 or something like this, it sticks around 95, 96, whatever, any number, doesn't matter, as long as it doesn't go for a new all-time high, right? It's good for the market, and we saw evidence of that, and we're still seeing evidence of that, because it takes away some of the dominance, bring the money flows into other altcoins, right? I hope the audio is good. Please let me know if the audio is good, right? If you're here for the first time, smash that like button, the least you could do to help the channel grow. Whether you subscribe or not, that's a whole different story. We are on planning to go to around 10,000 subscribers very soon, hence why we're doing a lot of vertical live streams. Normally I used to do horizontal live streams, but we're doing everything to get the community out. The audio is good. Thank you. I see Bubble here. Also, my brother, nice to see you. Right, so let's get into the market. Right, so the BTC pumping and doing what it needs to do. The candle is very bullish, by the way. When I look at the weekly candle, right, it's a bullish candle, right? I don't care if it shows up red or not. It is a very, thank you very much, Bubble. Thank you. Video and audio is good. Thank you. It is dark here, it's like, what's the time now? I mean, we're live, but the time now is 5:42 p.m. here in the United Kingdom, in London especially, and it's freaking dark already, you know what I mean? So I thought, look, I got a bit of time, and it was quite interesting what KR mentioned, because before that I didn't look at it, because I haven't looked at the coin market cap for so long, because there's no point. I've already picked my coins, you know what I mean? I picked them months ago, if not nearly a year ago. So when I saw what was happening, so I'm obviously monitoring the market, right? I'm obviously monitoring the market for the price structures to see what the prices are doing. So as I said, I'm not quite happy what BTC is doing, because we have larger time frame, we have data on the larger time frame telling us that BTC needs to bleed for a bit, right? Especially like tomorrow, up to tomorrow, it has to bleed, right? We have to bleed out a little bit, and that would give a great opportunity for altcoins to move. And as I said, we've seen plenty of evidence when BTC struggled a little bit and was trying to decide what direction to go. What we noticed was other altcoins, many altcoins came back and they pumped like 50%, 60%, 100%. Of course, I'm not going to go to the meme coins. Some of the meme coins, they pump 300-400%, right? That's a whole different story. We're not going there. But the majority of the market actually decided to move, right? And we saw some good numbers on XRP today. I think it tested 170 or something, or probably higher. I think it was 177 XRP tested, if I'm correct. Currently sitting at 171. So we are seeing greater numbers being tested, and 177 was the number that we tested earlier on. So we're seeing the market wants to, now the money's moving, like the money flow is moving into a lot of altcoins that haven't performed, and it's trying to get towards those performance levels that we want to see, right? Of course, and it's taking dominance. So when I look at Solana today, right, I saw the total I don't have it on here, but I saw the Solana dominance on coin market cap, right? And the difference was $14 billion, right? So it's basically $14 billion between XRP and Solana. That was it, right? $14 billion. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to reply to this. I've got an important message. I've got to reply to this. Give me one. All right, sorry, I had to quickly do that. SM's here saying smash that like button. Thank you very much, my brother. Right, so 1.77 was the XRP's price today, right? It's going towards the $2. There's no doubt about it, because there's nothing but just air, right, until $2, and then after $2 we should head towards the $3 and then the previous all-time high, right? So that's going to be fairly easy, because when you look at the percentage, it's not that much. But fun fact, right, when I looked at that and I said, okay, if Solana stays where it is today, because of course Solana is also moving with the market as well, but if Solana stays where it is, that's a $14 billion gap, right? And funny, if XRP pumps 10% from where it is right now, that's $2, right? Almost $2, right? Just from where we are, like close to $2, that's 10%. Well, if it does another 10-15%, pretty much that's $14 billion. You know what I mean? So I looked at that, I was like, that's quite surprising. It can actually take away Solana. Now I want to give you a little bit of history as well, so a lot of you guys who probably don't know about this, once upon a time XRP was the number 3 dominant coin on the planet, right? That's a fact, right? Once upon a time it was the number 3 dominant coin on the planet. So similar way is heading towards there. A lot of momentum is there, and I think it can actually take that level again. Now, with that, we've made a recent video where we talked about SGB, Songbird, and Flare, which are all connected, right? Because it's part of XRP's mission to bring smart contracts into XRP. So similar way, these two coins, Songbird and Flare, should also be pumping as well. So a lot of we've talked about this. Like, you know, if you haven't bought any, might be a good opportunity. Both of them, Songbird and Flare, are coming to test a significant level, and they're not that far. They're only about 20-30%, but they've been performing 5 to 10% per day, right? So they haven't been going down. They've been increasing in valuation in the last few days. So I think to get to that 20-30% that we need in order for us to start shooting for the sky is just round the corner. And if XRP does perform, then what you have to understand is, so this is for people who probably weren't around back in the days. So back in the days, if you held XRP, you were airdropped 1-to-1 ratio Flare, the Flare FLR coin, right? You were airdropped. So a lot of people actually hold Flare for free, completely for free, right? So that's what made them hodlers. And now if the market is pumping, I don't see a reason why they wouldn't start to dollar cost average into it, right? And if they do, then all 3 of these coins are going to start pumping. Because remember what I said, Songbird is the canary network, like the test network for Flare, and Flare is the smart contract for XRP, right? So they're all freaking connected, right? Now, of course, there's another coin pretty connected as well, or connected via the original founders, right? XLM, Stellar Lumens, right? That will also perform as well, because we have people who are like either Stellar Lumens or XRP, and then we have other people who are both, right? We're like, well, we don't see a reason why we can't have 2 different pies, right? So that you have that as well. So these 4 coins should perform very well, right? And I'll tell you a little bit more about what I think about like which one could win, right? So BNB, obviously we all know BNB is doing quite well. It's had many changes, it's had its updates and whatnot, and it's in fact since the update it's gone a lot more stronger. It is trying to get to that $700 level. BNB has a good opportunity because of the number of coins it has. It can actually grow faster, and I mean, it has a massive community. In fact, all the Ethereum community are pretty much doing stuff on BNB as well, right? So yeah, it is there. So end of the day, the way I look at it is, yes, they have some good momentum. They can probably do something, and probably head towards $1,000, which is going to be freaking awesome. Because I mean, a lot of you guys who know me from back in the days, you guys know this, we were buying BNB at $2 $3 a coin, right? And that's all I'm going to say, right? So BNB, a lot of us held it, a lot of us don't hold it, which is absolutely fine. A lot of us decided to go back in. even when it was like $10, $15, $20, $30, $80. I remember. So these are numbers I'm giving to you because I remember, right? And I know even latest, right? Some people even bought it for like $300, $400, right? So well done to all of you guys for having that conviction and going back into BNB and holding it for that long, right? Of course, many people have bought it for more other reasons, right? Sorry, Chrissy VTX whatever. Hello, hi. If you're an emo or whatever, it doesn't matter. We're not here to talk about that. Let's talk about crypto, please. Yeah. Enjoy the stream. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Because this could be beneficial. If you follow crypto, the information I'm giving you could be beneficial to you. So let's stick around with this. We're not here for none of that business. Okay. So it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, what religion, what culture, if you're from this planet or another planet, if you're from this dimension or another dimension, you're all welcome here. All right. Let's be friendly. So the way I'm looking at it is you've got XRP, which will potentially carry, right? So this is probably the easy way to say it, would potentially carry XLM, would potentially carry. I know some people are going to go, what the hell are you mean? It's a whole different coin. Yes, understand what I'm trying to say. It's the momentum that will carry. So the momentum of XRP, right, will carry XLM, will carry Songbird, will carry Flare. Now, with XRP, from here, where we are right now, to say the $2 mark, right? So the $2 mark, that would be, say, let's say 15% from here, or 10%, 10 to 15% here from here. And then to get to the $3, just say that's another 30%, right? So when looking at these percentage marks. However, with Flare and Songbird, right? Especially Songbird. Songbird is currently sitting at 0.01, like 1 cent basically. Now, at some stage, it was 45 cents. So there's a 45x opportunity there. That's how I'm looking at it, right? So if it does pump and it goes above its certain level, this thing could actually fly, right? So that's a big one for me, right? I don't know about Flare, what the high was, because as I mentioned earlier on, Flare originally was airdropped, right? So any price discovery it did after that, that's people dumping, pumping, doing whatever. That really isn't that relevant, right? Because majority of the holders were airdropped, right? So, you know, I participated. I got a Flare airdrop as well. So a funny thing is I kept the Flare coins, but I dumped the XRP. That was last season. I dumped that, right? In fact, even this season, I was staying away from it because I've put my funds in other places and I wasn't going to hold any XRP. But someone actually gifted me some. That's the best way to put it. And now I'm actually an XRP holder. So I am holding and I'll be loyal. I'll hold. I don't even think I'm going to be dumping XRP this season as well, because for me, the idea I have is I wanted to pick up a nice, decent bag to see all of the drama go away, like all the court cases and all the bullshit that comes with XRP. I wanted all of that to go away. I wanted the founders to just kind of renounce half of their holdings in XYZ. And when I see those changes, right, then I wanted to go in, right? Because that means that we won't have too much FUD, because XRP suffers from a lot of FUD, and I just don't want to see the FUD anymore. You know what I mean? There's a great community, and I believe me, those of you who know me from the past, you know this very well. I'm a man of people power. I believe in people power. All right. I believe, like, for example, right now, you guys watching these streams, smashing that like button, right? Even subscribing, you have the power to take this channel to a whole different height. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Similar way, the amount of people holding the amount of XRP, right? The amount of XRP people are holding in their wallets and the length of time they've been holding, right? Length of time they've been holding. Because I know people who have bought it on the top, right? And I know people who have bought it right from the bottom and still holding, right? 3-4 years holding. In fact, we have someone here who's been holding like 3-4 years. So think about it. That takes dedication. And that ultimately is people power, right? Because people are powering XRP. And I believe in that, right? So for me, it doesn't matter about fundamentals. I don't care about the fundamentals. I don't care about the pumpamentals, right? I don't care who the founders are. I don't care who's doing scams and pumping and dumping. None of that matters. How many people does it have? This many. How many coins do these people hold? This many. Well, that's a winning number for me. That's a winning calculation for me, right? So immediately that tells me that that's where I want to be. Does that make sense, right? So I have a projection, like for me, um, if I, and one of the things that I do, guys, when I do enter any projects, I always have a long-term plan. So my long-term plan for XRP is when I enter like with a nice decent bag, I want to hold it for at least 3 to 4 years, if not 5 years, right? So that's going to be my strategy when I re-enter without the gift, with my own cash. So that's what I'm going to do basically. That's my idea. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? Now, coming back to BNB, right? So this is XRP. What I hope you guys understood. If you haven't, please let me know in the chat. If you haven't understood anything, then I'll re-explain it. But this is what I think XRP can do. So XRP has the power to lift 3 other coins and potentially take over Solana. And before we get to Solana, I'm going to get to BNB and the problems I see on BNB. So BNB is a great coin and it has done fantastic, gone all the way from a few dollars when it originally launched, right? They done a pre-sale on a couple of dollars to where it is now, right? So almost $700. It's heading towards $1,000. I don't see a reason why it can't do $1,000. Again, it's that 30%. Think about it. From where we are now, it's just 30%, right? So 30% for any cryptocurrency to do now is pretty simple. Now, of course, you want to calculate the bottom price, then it's a whole different story, right? We can say, oh, we did X, 1,000X or whatever. That's a different story. We're not going to go there. We're just going to talk about where we are right now and how many percentage that is to a particular target. So if we get to $1,000, right? Well, for me, that's 30%, right? Simple. XRP to get to $3 from where we are right now, just over 30%, right? Actually, it's 10% from here to $2 and then, or whatever, and then another 30%, right? So there's that 30% number there. But the problems I see with BNB, right? So BNB is great. Problem with BNB is, yes, there's plenty of users there, but there's a lot of rugs and a lot of scams out there. And they're kind of hindering, right, BNB's growth. BNB shouldn't be at $700 because of the number of coins it has, right? And of course, I think they're kind of destroying some coins as well or whatnot, right? They do burns every now and then, right? So technically, they should be deflationary. So, and that's one of the reasons why the price pumps as well. But with all the scams that go on, right? Because it's so easy to do, right? There's so many scams going on, so many betting companies and gambling companies, and that's what's there, right? So you have all of these like casinos built on BNB, right? Well, that's not helping it grow. It should be right now, it should be about $2,000 a coin, but it's not, right? Because again, the more people go in and buy, they end up losing out to a handful of people, right? So it always takes a few people to ruin everything for everyone. So whoever these people are, they have their method and they've been scamming people nonstop with these casinos and whatnot, right? And that's what's been going on. So that's been kind of hindering BNB's growth. But then Solana's not any angel, right? So Solana has become the king, right? Let's call it the king, right, of meme coins, right? It didn't start, so it's not the grandfather of meme coins, but it's become the king of meme coins, right? What you'll have is groups of people picking on a narrative, and then they'll do, either side of the narrative, if sometimes even more. So I'll give you a good example. Dog with hat. We've had someone else, or the same people probably come with cat with hat, ape with hat. And then it just carries on, right? And it's like, come on, guys, when do you stop? But the fun thing about it is they don't stop. And everybody kind of makes money, right? XRP is not a meme coin. No, I'm not saying XRP is a meme coin. You probably missed the beginning part. I'll get back to XRP anyway. Let's go through the coins, right? So Solana has become the meme king, right? That's what I'm saying. So Solana currently has so many different meme coins, and then you'll have one narrative, whatever that is, right? And then so many coins will come on that narrative, right? To the point where you might have a coin that's very popular on Ethereum. Well, you have variations of that on Solana. You have like 10 variations of that on Solana now, right? So similar way, what you'll see is it's so easy to do, right, on Solana now because the technology has moved forward, right? And again, in the beginning it was hard. So a lot of people complained about how Solana was very hard to build on, right? Now it's just, there's softwares out there where you can just plug in, and you only pay like maybe a few dollars to a few $100 depending what you're using and who you're going through, right? To even a couple of $1,000s, right? But the point is anything from a couple of dollars to all the way to a couple of $1,000s, and Bob's your uncle, you have a coin listed, right? You have a coin listed on Radium. All of that is handled for you. So you just got to give the name and a token logo or whatever, right? And that's it, and just point towards where your logo is. Like, so Solana works slightly different. So Solana is kind of funny. The logos are usually NFTs technically, right? So you just point towards the logo, points towards the coin, and boom, you have your coin. So I'm not going into technicalities here, right? But that's how Solana coins work. So it's easy, and if someone has a working method, and the narrative works, and they have built a nice community, then what you'll find is they just go and rinse and repeat. Now, almost everybody makes money except the people who decide to hold, right? So I'm not going to go down that route. So people who hold meme coins end up losing, but everybody makes money. You could easily make 100% in a day, right? In a couple of days, you can make 200-300%. It's easy, right? But you got to know when to get out. So you shouldn't be anything on Solana, you don't hodl. And also that kind of ruins things for people as well, right? Because again, it kind of takes away that momentum. Because, when you're coming in, you're making money, you're happy, right? But if some people lose money and then there's only a handful of people making the money, it comes a point where it's like people want to leave that chain. So ultimately what it does, it moves people away from chains. So people who were on BNB or Ethereum once upon a time, they were afraid of how the gas fees were too much. So they went on BNB, right? Gas fees are cheap, but BNB is now full of crap, right? So they left BNB and then they moved into Solana, right? So now the Solana team are doing the exact same thing, which is hindering the growth. Now let's come to XRP. XRP has a FLR, right? Flare network. So having Flare network, what do you think is going to happen? If you just understood what I just said, how people went from Ethereum to BNB for various reasons, right? And they're almost identical reasons. Some of them, okay, with Ethereum, probably the fees, right? But how the communities move through this. Well, what's going to happen to Flare network? Well, if Flare network comes on board, well, what are they trying to make smart contracts out of? XRP and other blockchains, right? That opens up many doors. So I think the next season for us, XRP could be probably the new meme king, NFT king, whatever. NFTs I'm not too fussed about. NFTs most of them were scams anyway. I don't know if you guys know about this. Some of the big NFTs out there, yes, some people got lucky and they have genuinely made a lot of money by selling them during the hype. So when the hype started, they have sold them. But others, it was complete manipulation where basically people knew each other and they were just transferring funds between themselves while showing it up on the network. So people thought someone bought something for millions of dollars, but it was turned out to be a complete freaking scam. So I'm not going to go there, but that kind of started a big hype. But you can see thousands and thousands and thousands of NFTs out there who are not being sold, right? So yeah, leave that. I'm not too concerned about that. But when we look at meme coins or even just basic utility coins or any random crypto, right? Like Base Network, right? They entered the market and a whole group of people jumped onto Base Network, and they're basically copycats of everything on Ethereum and some of them on BNB. So they're just copycats, right? Anything. So they're just launching it on Base and they're like Base Pepe, Base this, Base that. Oh, seriously? And they're fine. They're doing okay. They're doing okay, right? So that's how certain things work. So I think that I think Flare is definitely going to get some limelight. It's definitely got to get some spotlight. And when that happens, I've got a feeling a lot of these projects are going to move there. And if XRP has anything to do with it, well, XRP is not going to just decide to leave XRP on the sideline because it was originally built for XRP. So I think XRP is going to become a utility coin, which they're going to try and use and has the potential to grow. So as you asked earlier on, is XRP a meme coin? No, XRP is not a meme coin. It's still technically just a cryptocurrency. It's not even a utility coin because we don't actually have anything to use it yet. But I think this gives it a chance for it to become a utility coin. And that becomes a whole different thing, right? That becomes a whole because I've mentioned this before as well. So of course you probably don't know about this. So I'm talking to moving forward. XRP has two coins, right? one is official and one is centralized and one is decentralized, right? So let's explain this, right? So the Ripple, the company, is separate from XRP. All right, so XRP Ripple and Ripple are two different companies. Ripple provides services to the institutional grade banking, right? So banking remittance, that's what they do. In fact, they, as you probably already know, they own MoneyGram. So XRP doesn't own MoneyGram. Ripple owns MoneyGram. There's a whole difference. I know it gets confusing, which is not a problem. It's the same founders created, right? XRP was created for the public, right? So public, we have that. Now, the Ripple coin that they use in the institutions actually has utility because banks use it to do their remittance between themselves, right? Money transfer, whatever, because they gave an example. It would take you 3 days to go from one country to another, or maybe one state to another, whereas in Ripple could do it within a few seconds. And that's true. They do it in a few seconds. So we had the public coin XRP, hence why all of the court cases and this and that, because the other company's fine. It's all legit. It's all regulated. XRP was not regulated and there was some drama between that. So I'm not going to just cutting through the thing, right? So, but XRP actually doesn't have any utility because what do you use it for? You can't build on it, right? Until now, you couldn't build on it. So you don't use it for fees, right? You only use it to pay each other. Fine. That's about it, right? There was no utility. But Flare Network, which is funded by XRP, allows XRP to become a utility token. So knowing this, if the momentum comes into this particular network and XRP becomes the utility coin, because at the moment Flare Network has its own coin, so technically Flare coin would be a utility coin. But if it allows smart contract functions on, like if it allows XRP to be used in a smart contract or any blockchain, because they can do any blockchain as well, by the way, I think they're working on that. That opens up many doors, right? That opens up many doors, one for Flare and one for XRP. And I think XRP could become a utility token. And if it becomes a utility token, I don't see a reason why it can't head towards Ethereum, because right now it's trying to take over Solana. It's only $14 billion away, right? BNB is lagging a couple of $1 billion behind XRP, right? So BNB, I don't think can take over Solana yet. Because of the number of coins they have, they're competitive, but can they? I don't think so. But I think Solana could be knocked down if Solana doesn't recover, right? But XRP could definitely take Solana's place. So I see Bitcoin being number one dominant coin at the moment, right? With I think almost $2 trillion in the market cap. And I think Ethereum, if I'm correct, is about 450 billion, if not probably more. It should be around 500 billion, if not more. You know, I mean, I would love to see at $1 trillion, right? Let's just put it this way. And then I think Solana's currently at 100 and something billion dollars, right? So it's basically Ethereum is like a quarter of BTC. Solana is like a quarter of Ethereum, right? And XRP and BNB are catching up. But the number's so little, right, that I feel that XRP is going to take over Solana, right, to the point where it can probably even push forward and actually target XRP, target Ethereum, right? I believe that could happen. So moving forward, if you're still here, XRP is not a meme coin, but they could start building meme coins on it for sure, right? And the fun fact is, right, I think it's going to be great. I think it's so. Look, some of these coins have been around for donkey's years, right? But we really haven't seen much utility. So we've seen hypes, like price and this and that. Yes, we're going to go to the moon. We're going to do this. We're going to do. Don't care. I don't really care what people think. Where's the functionality? Where's the use case? What's the purpose? Right? If the purpose is just to hold and make money, yeah, we're all doing that. We all do that. We make money. We buy during a bear market, we hold, and we sell during a bull market. It's easy, right? So we're already doing that. Do you see what I mean? But if there's no use case for it in the community and whatnot, what's the point holding it? Because at some stage, something else will come and take over. And this is what we've seen so far, right? Where other coins with other utility, right? Some new fresh coins like Sui and Say and Aptos and Arbitrum, all of that, right? Arbitrum, what is Arbitrum? What is Optimism? Arbitrum, Optimism, Base Network, Matic, for God's sake. What are they? A lot of people don't even realize what they were. These coins were created because of the fees that Ethereum was charging at that time. So these were a sidechain layer 2 built on Ethereum to help Ethereum with the congestion it had, right? And prevent from charging extortionate fees. So these things were actually ultimately the same as Ethereum. That's what they were. But now all of a sudden they're their own thing. They have their own networks, their own projects, their own exchanges. You know what I mean? So that's how they take over. So if you're not going to do something, at some stage, someone's going to take over. Do you know what I mean? I see there's a track here. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. Nice to see you here as well. So I hope that makes sense, right? What I'm trying to say here. So a lot of the coins, even if they're at number 2, even if Ethereum is number 2 right now, there's nothing in the rule book saying it has to stay there. If Ethereum doesn't do anything, right? If the coin doesn't do anything, forget all the buyers and holders. I'm not even fussed about those, right? Or all the staking rewards and all of the validator rewards and BS, right? We don't give a damn about that, right? If Ethereum doesn't innovate, somebody else is going to take over. It's the same way I say, if you're not going to take profit, someone else is going to take it. So you're going to be a bag holder. Similar way, you're not going to buy the bottom, someone else will, right? So similar way, if the technology doesn't move forward, well, someone else is going to come and take over your spot, right? So this is one of the reasons why, like, a lot of the time when I'm looking at coins, I look at them with hesitation and cautiousness, right? And my cautiousness is, what are you about? What have you done? What can you do? And, what do I see your future holds? If I don't see much of a future, or if I don't see much of an innovation, right, I'm one of those. I don't care if it does 1,000%, I'll stay back. And I'll go back into it many years later. I'll give you a good example of that, right? And I think I said this to Desitrack on a message recently, and I'll explain this to you, right? So this is kind of going through something that I've made a video regarding this before as well, right? And I'll say this again. Let me just get a little drink. Right. Yeah, I've got about 15 minutes and then I'm going to go. But let me give you a good example, right, of this. So in 2010, all right, I happened to work at a supermarket. All right, I'm working at a supermarket and I'm like training to be a manager in a supermarket, 2010. And when we do training, we sometimes have to go to another store that specializes in training managers, right? So I went there, met a bunch of people, and then as we're progressing through the training, and these are extensive training. By the way, I didn't work there as an employee before. I was already kind of headhunted to go there as a manager, but I can't work as a manager. So even though I was being paid as a manager or like a technical manager, I never had to wear any uniform. So I was wearing shirt and tie in a retail store, right? Actually, I'll tell you, it's Asda. So yeah, in Asda. So I was still wearing a shirt and tie, even though I started day one. I was never an employee. I was paid salary and I had to pay my own taxes. So it was completely different before my training part. So after my training, then I get a pay increase and whatnot, right? So, and it was an extensive training, like kind of fast tracking to a higher level. So during that, I met a whole bunch of people in other stores and we kind of became friends, right? And one of these brothers, he heard about BTC. I've never heard about it. He came to me the first time in 2010 and he goes, have you heard about this? And we were like standing, there's a smoking area, right, on top of the car park. So we used to go out and smoke there. And we smoke break and he's like, oh, have you heard of this and this and that? And I said, no, I don't know what it is, right? So he goes, look, give me your device and I'm going to send you some, right? And he said, just hold on to it. So at that time I had a stupid iPhone, one of the early ones, right? And he done something, he jailbroke my phone or whatnot, he done whatever he had to do, and he gave me a few BTC, right? He put it on there. I absolutely had no idea how it works. He even told me, he said, save this, do that. So he's basically giving me the seed phrase and whatnot. He said, save it, this is your wallet and XYZ. Oh, no problem. I had it in the phone for God knows how long. And then we kind of went apart. So I decided to change my career because I wasn't happy with how slow moving, because it like takes a long time for you to become a manager and then become something higher. I just got fed up. I was like, you know what, it's nonsense. I can basically go and do something else. So I became self-employed again, right? And I said, look, I'm just gonna go and work for myself because this ain't my cup of tea. And we split. So he's still there, I'm not. We split. And my phone dies, right? So I end up jumping into an Android phone, and I have no use for an iPhone anymore. So I just chuck it in the bin. And honestly, I tried to restart the phone, but the battery was so dead, it just won't charge up and it just won't wake up. So anyway, I just chucked it in the bin, right? Don't know about it. And then, so I become a cab driver, right? So I'm cabbing in central London in 2012, and someone comes up to me and they're like, made a joke, and they're like, we should tip you. Would you accept Bitcoin in tips? And I was like, Bitcoin? Oh yeah, I heard about it. He's like, do you know what the price is? I was like, I don't. Then he told me the price. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was, but it was something like a couple $100s. I was like, wow, that much? Because I remember it was like pennies. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, a friend of mine gave it to me. It was like pennies, like, you know, a pound's worth got me like 20, 30. Are you serious? Oh yeah. He goes, yeah, I had like a pound's worth or something like this, something stupid. So I heard about it again, and I was like, okay, fine. I missed it. I'm not too fussed about it. So I'm assuming that's it. Look, it was a few pennies and it went to a few dollars, right? A few $100s. I've missed it. Do you know what I mean? Right? Because that's the assumption you make. You missed it. It's not going to go any higher than that, is it? So I left it. I'm not even talking about it. So I carry on doing my bits and bobs. 2015, right? 2015, it comes to me again. And this time I take notice. I'm like, what? It's because now it's like it went to a few $100s, it dumped, and it's back to a few $100s, but the pattern looks great. And by that time I'm already doing stocks, right? And I'm doing FX as well. So I've already got a taste for this. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna dabble into this, right? So I literally went in, and the first time I bought with my physical money during 2015, right? And this is like the bottom of the bottom. I bought $20 worth, which was about £17, and I decided to do exactly what I do on the on my FX, right? So foreign currency exchange, FX, if you don't know. So I started doing the same thing and kind of trading, buying and selling. So every time it goes up, I'm selling it. Every time it goes down, I'm buying it again, and kind of rotating that fund. That's all I'm doing. I'm not really increasing my funds anymore. Any profit I make, I just double down and just carry on with it. So I'm not adding anymore, if that makes sense, right? And I realized that actually there's good volatility and you can make money. More I got interested, more I started looking at charts. When I started looking at the chart, the one thing that came to me, freaked the life out of me. I saw a pattern, right? And I fell in love with that pattern, because that pattern just said to me, there's only way it's going to go is up. So now I started to research, right? So this is me in 2015. So I have no 2010, someone gives it to me, right? And I'll tell you the number. It was 30 Bitcoins they give to me. I chuck it in the bin. 2012, I hear about it. I do not do anything about it. I just know about it, and I'm a wise man. Yeah, I know about Bitcoin. Bollocks, I knew nothing about Bitcoin, right? 2015, I'm going down the rabbit hole, right? That's when I go down the rabbit hole. And now I'm going mental. I'm like, right, this is it. I'm losing sleep over it. I need to understand this. And I'm kind of, kicking myself everywhere. I'm like, this is what it is. And I didn't even bother looking at it. And I understood it, right? So that's when I got really, really interested. Give me 1 second, guys. I got a freaking another message. Too many messages. There we are. Sorry, guys. Someone's just sent a message. I'll read that again. First name, last name says, can you wish happy birthday to my mom? She is in the military and will be deployed to Egypt tomorrow. Her name is Sergeant Annie Gur. Happy birthday to you, Sergeant Annie Gur. I wish you best of luck, and I hope you stay safe. Obviously, military is not fun. But I mean, if you're doing it for the country and whatnot, that's, there's nothing you could do. That's patriotism, right? That's what I say. Just stay safe, right? That's the most important thing. And I hope you don't get into trouble, right? And you come back home to your family, right? So happy birthday to you, and come back home safe. That's all I'm going to say, right? So what was I saying? Coming back to, right, so 2015, right? I'm now kind of going down the rabbit hole. I'm fascinated about this. All I see is a pattern that shoots up, right? I start talking about it. I start telling people on Facebook and talking about it. And at that time, there was a whole bunch of other scams as well. So there was this one very big scam. In fact, that lady, I think she was, her name was Ruja Ignatova. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to mention the coin because I don't want to promote anything. But she had this fake currency, which she was selling. So I was invited to go to one of these meetings that they have. And a bunch of my friends, like, they jumped in my car. They're like, right, you're driving us to Canary Wharf. So anyway, I drove drove them to Canary Wharf. Me and a bunch of my mates, we went into this meeting, and I think it was about 10 minutes into this whatever presentation they were doing, I literally walked out, right? So a friend of mine walked behind me and he said, "Why'd you walk out?" I said, "Bro, that same guy who just did the speech, did the same exact same speech. He just changed the words to what another one, which was called ACN, and another meetings that someone took me. These are freaking scammers. They're basically saying the exact same thing to get because that's what works, right? And they're getting people to come in. They're promoting Bitcoin here, but then at the end of the day, they want your Bitcoin to sell you something else. Well, if you're promoting Bitcoin, how well it's done, how it's changed people's lives, why aren't you telling me to buy more Bitcoin? Why aren't you telling me that the future is bright? Why aren't you telling me that we're going to go to the moon? Right? This is me in 2015. Why aren't you telling me that? No, I'm not interested. Right? So the person who took me, he literally bought me whatever. He invested money for. I was like, bro, it's your money. You keep it, do whatever. Right? So I've never touched it, honestly. So he's done his thing, done whatever. I'm like, yeah, you carry on. I don't want to know about it. Right? So I'm here promoting BTC. You're here promoting BTC. But at the end of it, you're trying to sell me something else. Sorry, it doesn't make any sense. And that something else isn't even a coin, right? It's basically some education packet. Why would I want to pay for some education packet, right? You know, I'm already educated enough, right? I understand what BTC is going to do. And it's quite simple. You buy, you hold, and it makes you money. Simple, right? You know what I mean? And once I understood the kind of the inflation, so BTC has inflation. A lot of people don't know this. Inflation means how many coins come into existence every 10 minutes, right? So that's inflation. However, because of the demand and supply, right? Because there's always going to be a cut of supply, the supply is reduced over XYZ. So the inflation is kind of reduced over time until there's not normal to inflate. And then the demand and the supply, right? That kind of helps as well. Gets you to a point where you get to see that there's going to be some massive price increase, right? How high? We don't know. This is me in 2015. I don't know how high. Right, I'm thinking a couple of $1,000s, maybe $2,000, $3,000. This is me, few $1,000s, right? So I'm promoting to people I know. I'm like, guys, put 5 grand, 10 grand, whatever, right? Because you're gonna double your money. You're gonna double your money. This is me. I'm telling people you're gonna double your money, and of course, in 5-10 years time, maybe we double that as well. So I am being optimistic, but I just don't have any idea we're gonna go to 100K. This is me. Come on, 2015, right? I've just discovered BTC, right? I've had it, didn't really care about it. I heard about it. I didn't really do anything about it. I didn't research on it. And then now I'm down the rabbit hole and I understand it. And all I'm thinking is, guys, a couple of $100s will become a couple of $1,000s, right? Your one BTC now for a few $100s will become a few $1,000s, right? That's all I'm saying, right? So you can easily maybe double, if not 10x your money, right? So what's wrong with that? Worst case scenario, you're going to basically double your money, right? On the best case scenario, you're going to 10x. This is me telling people you're going to 10x, right? So I went to friends and family. I'm like, look, put a couple of grand down, right? Put 5 grand, 10 grand, whatever you can. And these guys got money. I'm not talking about people who don't have money. Right? I'll tell you this. I went to my own brother. I went to my own older brother, right? And I said, look, you got about 50 G's, right? Put 50 G's in, right? And you can 10x that. I'm telling him, put 50 G's in, you can 10x that, right? This is, you know what I mean? So other people, I'm like 5, 10K. To my own brother, I'm like, put 50 grand in, right? He doesn't react to it. Other people don't react to it. So at that time, I'm like, you know what? I got a bit of money on the side and I got a business I need to get rid of. Well, how about this? I'm going to get rid of it for peanuts. I don't care, right? But I want the cash right now. I'm going in. Michael Weber says, where's the money coming from? Not drugs, nothing illegal. Don't worry about it. But ultimately, none of your business. Oh my. Anyway, so end of the day, I'm telling people, look, go and buy BTC because you're going to 10x. This is 2015, right? You're going to 10x, right? So I'm saying, look, if you put 50 grand in, your 50 grand will be worth about 500 grand. And that's what I'm telling people. So obviously 2015, I'm struggling. Most people don't listen to me. Ethereum comes out. Of course I'm broke. You don't have to say that. I am broke. Thank you. Appreciate that. I love that. I love that. Buy real estate. Thank you. Anyway, so listen, if you want to hear the story, carry on. But yeah, I'll reply to the messages later. So where was I? Okay, so I'm telling people to buy BTC, right? People don't buy. Okay, fine, right? So I'm out there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go and do myself because I've been preaching it. I might as well do it myself. So I do it myself, right? You know, I get a little bit of cash together and I'm doing it. And things get interesting because even that time, so this is early 2015, like early to mid 2015, I didn't realize we're in a bull market because I'm not doing technicals. I'm just looking at a chart. I just drew a simple line and the line's still there. I'm just drawing a single line and I'm like, this thing is only going up. And I assume it's going to do this. This is me just being very naive and very stupid, even though I have the practice in doing charts. So I understand charts completely because I've been doing it on FX and stocks and bonds, right? I'm doing it. So I already know what the charts look like, right? And I'm not using that on BTC until like that particular time when I used it. And I realized that, shit, we're in a bull market. Hold up, we're in a freaking bull market. And everyone's like, no, this ain't no bull market. I'm like, bro, we're at the beginning of a bull market, which technically most people would say the bottom of a bear market. I was buying at the bottom of the bear market. I was preaching it to people at the bottom of the bear market. Anyway, things kick off. Things get really, really wild. And then we know how we started to perform around the 2017. I'm not going to make the story long, but I exited before the bull market ended, right? Early 2017. Late 2017, before the bull market ended. I already left. I had a gut feeling I just left, right? So that's that. And then people started coming. Right, so just after I exited, I didn't exit at 20k anyway, but I exited way before that. But when I exited, then people started coming to me like, bro, you were talking about this, bro. How do we enter? How do we do this? And well, you got on, if you're coming in now, you got to think about it, right? And I'm looking at the cycles and I'm doing a lot of research and I'm like, you got to think about it. If you're going to come in now, you got to be in it for 5 years because the risk is that the market could end anytime now. And I kept on saying that from November. So I remember it was in November, right? From November 2017, I kept on saying that market could end any day. Market could end any day. And by that time, I already exited, right? And, you know, lo and behold, market does end, right? Right in the end of December to early January, market does end. And then during that time, a friend of mine comes along and is like, have you heard of, so this is like 2016, 2017. Have you heard of Ethereum? Oh, nah. It comes up to me, Ethereum again, $2. Have you heard of Ethereum? Oh, nah. It comes out to me, Ethereum, $8. I'm like, bro, nah. He buys Ethereum at $8 and he just sits on it. He buys Ethereum for $8 and he just sits on it. I don't believe in Ethereum. I don't trust in Ethereum. I'm looking at it. I'm like, this is a scam, right? This is someone trying to compete with, because I'm so overwhelmed with all the information that I've gathered on BTC. Because I went down the BTC rabbit hole. There was no other crypto for me. Nothing else existed. Everything else was just a scam or basically someone trying to take share away from BTC. I'm a BTC guy. That's it, right? So that's where I made a mistake. But no regrets because I didn't trust it. I didn't have faith in it. So that's the story. The moral of the story is, for me, if I didn't have faith in it, I'm not going to jump in it. So it took me a few years, like 2018 is when I re-entered. So after the bull market ended, after I saw what Ethereum done, like it went to like $1,400, then I re-entered the market, right? So similar way, I've held XRP way back in the days. And then I said, you know what? I want to see what it can do, how it can perform, right? So I'm going to cut the straw here. But I feel now it has a great opportunity and now I want to be in it. Does that make sense? So now I want to go heavy in it, right? So before that, it wasn't about being heavy. It was like, okay, I'm going to dabble in it because if I don't have faith in it, well, why would I touch it, right? And my faith wasn't in the coin. It's not the coin. It was the founders. I just don't trust the founders, right? That's what it was. So let's see what Michael Wilbur says. Buy real estate. Yeah, real estate's good. In fact, that's something I'm actually working on right now. However, my actual strategy is not to buy real estate in the UK. UK's messed up, right? In fact, I don't even know this, if you know this, right? All the land in the UK is owned by the royal family anyway. And the royal family are not even British, right? They like to call themselves British. the Germans, right? We all know this, right? I'm sure you know this. If you don't, then go and do some research, right? But the land isn't yours. So yeah, we buy properties, we have technical virtual freehold, whatever, we have XYZ generations that can live in it, but ultimately it's not ours. So, and that's what it is, right? So I've looked at certain things, real estate, yeah, for investment purposes, yeah, why not, right? So we've got a bunch of group of people come together, and yeah, we do stuff like this. That's a different story, right? I'm not even going down there. I'm not trying to pitch anything here. I'm not trying to promote anything here. So there's no plugs here. But personally, I am looking at buying land, right? Because I believe that there's an opportunity with land, right? Great opportunity for land. Call it end of day, whatever. But I just want to buy land, right? So that's something I've been looking into. So I'm trying to diversify myself into as much land as possible. That is mine, right? That can't be anybody else's. I want that. So that's how I'm looking at it. But I've got other ulterior motive for that as well. So other than that, real estate and property, not too interested. Other than business purposes, right? So for any investment purposes, yeah, that's what I'm doing. So that's that. Claystone says, God be with you, your mom, Sergeant Annie Gurr, in Jesus' name. Okay, all right, good. I think they're just wishing Annie Gurr, yeah, they're just wishing her well. That's good. Buy apartment complex. Let's go fishing. Oh, apartment complexes are actually brilliant. Their rental, I mean, it's just phenomenal. A lot of people, so people spend millions of pounds, right? In UK, they spend millions of pounds, right? And where I live is quite close to some of the most expensive. So I live near Hampstead, right? And in London, they have some of the most expensive properties. Put it this way, it's just ridiculous money, and they spend millions of pounds buying a house, right? People can afford it. They buy a house. But you can buy apartment complex or build an apartment complex, right? Knock down your old house and build one, right? With the relevant permission, obviously. And the income they generate, oh, it's unbelievable, right? So yeah, if you just want to make money, apartment complex are the best. The rental income is just on another level. Michael Weaver says, best advice, keep your emotions out of your stock decisions. Always do your homework. That's what I'm trying to say. Look, it's not about emotions. So for me, it's not emotions, right? When I'm buying and selling, believe me, I'm the one who's teaching people. So I actually do classes, right? Where I actually teach people how to buy, sell. And one of the most important things I tell them, you have to have no emotions. When you're buying and selling, right? Zero emotions. So that's what I teach people already, right? So you don't have to tell me when it comes to trading. So there's a distinct difference between trading and holding. That's what I'm trying to make here, right? When I buy a coin, I have two intentions. So if I'm buying it today, I want to trade it, right? So I'll trade it 24 hours, 7 days, a month, whatever, right? A day. That's trading. So we can't mix trading with holding or have conviction and belief into a coin. So when I said, like, for me, I went down the Bitcoin rabbit hole, that was me having complete faith in Bitcoin, right? That's why nothing else existed. So it was not just emotional, it was psychological as well, because when I saw that and I saw competitors coming, I'm like, these are copycats. These are freaking scams. You see what I mean? So it wasn't emotional. It was just logical. I'm like, someone's trying to take this thing away. They're trying to take the spotlight away. But this is the original thing. So I should believe in that, right? And I can see how decentralized this is compared to how decentralized that is. Because at that time, when you see a bunch of investors coming and investing into, so I'm talking about Ethereum, right? You can see XYZ people, VCs and this and that coming. Come on, any company that has a VC behind it, is it decentralized? Come on, let's be honest with ourselves. Yes, maybe over time it got sufficiently decentralized, which is exactly what SEC said, right? It's sufficiently decentralized because more and more people have bought it, and a lot of these coins are now in the hands of the public, right? But at that time, it wasn't sufficiently decentralized because at the launch, it was centralized. You see what I mean? So those are the things that I'm talking about. It's not emotional. Do you understand what I mean? So even now, I'm not emotional about BTC. So now that I understand the market for what it is, and I accept that something better will come and take over, I'm one of those, I've become that person now. So I've evolved to the point where if BTC doesn't perform, let it go. We done a live stream, couple of videos, I said BTC can go to hell. This is me, someone who went into the BTC rabbit hole, turned around a few videos ago on a live stream, still there. I said BTC can go to hell. Why would I say that? Because I've evolved. I understand that there's opportunities and I have to be accepting. It's not emotional. It's more, for me, strategical and logical. Now, it's my strategy, my logic, obviously. It doesn't, no, but you might not agree to it. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is when I'm trading, there's zero emotions. But sometimes when I'm making those logical decisions to buy certain assets during a bear market or during a bloodbath, right? I'm dollar cost averaging in or buying the dip or whatever. That for me is a logical, strategical entry, not emotional. Believe me, I have zero emotion for anything, money, crypto, whatever. There's no emotion. Listen, you came here, you came to this being, right? You came to this being, right, without a cloth on you. It's a fact. You're gonna die. You're gonna be fortunate enough. Someone buries you. You're gonna go within a cloth. Think about that. If you're fortunate, you're going to be buried in a cloth, right? Maybe not even that. Some people just burn you, right? They just burn, whatever. But ultimately, we came from nothing. We're going to go with nothing. What's the point? Do you know what I mean? The only thing we can do is leave something behind for our next generation, right? We can leave something for them. That's it, right? That's the best we can do, end of the day. So I'm not going to say anything. You'll pay taxes no matter where you buy land, whatever. Of course. What's that got to do with? I never mentioned anything about taxes. I don't know why you said taxes. I didn't mention anything. This is a live stream. You go back and rewind it. I didn't mention anything about taxes. You're the ones who mentioned taxes. What's tax got to do with it? It doesn't matter what country you buy. It doesn't matter what planet you probably buy, right? Ultimately, you're going to pay taxes anyway. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, I want something that is mine. I don't want to know in the back of my head that this is leased out to me for 999 years, a virtual lease or whatever, virtual freehold, right? Where this property isn't mine because all the land on this country belongs to the royal family. I don't want that in my conscience. Does that make sense, right? I'd rather go and buy something from someone who's had it for 1,000 years. His family's had it for 1,000 years. Buy it from him, knowing that this is mine. Of course, when I buy it, I'll pay taxes. Every country you pay taxes. I don't think there is a country that you don't pay taxes, right? You know, even like countries that are tax-free, like they talk about tax-free countries like Dubai and this and that, all these Arab countries, right? There's some form of tax, land registry, land tax. There's some form of tax, right? Even corporations, they pay some form of tax. It's not entirely tax-free. You know what I mean? There's still some tax. You'll pay taxes. Teaching people how to be broke. I don't know, maybe you're teaching people how to be broke, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know. You let your emotions in. So you did your homework. You said you're going to buy land outside of Britain. So you're mad at the crown. I'm not mad at the crown. I just see it for what it is. I just see it for what it is. Come on. Look, I've got 5 more minutes, but I'm going to tell you this, right? I see it for what it is. Many people don't go and do the research. Who are they? Our monarch, our crown, our royal family, His Highness. Who is he? Have you actually done that research? Or you just gone by what you learned in school and that's it? They're the royal family. Yeah. Great Britain. Yeah. Where did Great Britain come from? You got to go and look into these things, because when you do start looking at these things, your eyes will open up and you'll see so much more. And then you start questioning everything you've actually learned. And then you'd be like, oh my days, what's going on? Right? We have a monarch in Britain that isn't even from original British heritage. How freaking crazy is that? What do you have? You are 70. What? 1,200 units is not broke. What do you have? I am 70. Wake up. Listen, you're 70, you have 1,200 units, or you have 12,000 units. None of that matters. We're not competing. We're not competing. That's the beautiful thing here. We're not competing. You have 1,200 units. I might have 12,000 units. But I'm not here telling you what I have. We're not doing a competition here. Do you know what I mean? So ultimately, I came here to talk about crypto. You're talking about land. You're having a go at me. right? You're telling me how I'm broke. Great, I am broke. You know, if you want to send some over, you're so rich, right? Send some over by all means. I'll take it with open arms, right? So, end of the day, listen, what I'm trying to say here, it's not a competition. What you do, whatever your strategy is for your financial freedom, is what you do. I'm here talking about crypto, right? Obviously, I know it changes. I'm here talking about crypto, and what I think certain coins will do, right? Obviously, the whole conversation's changed since you've come on and since we started talking about this stuff, where I was actually giving you a bit of a story. In fact, I wasn't even talking to you, I was talking to Desi Track, because we've had a conversation, and I was giving him the lowdown of the story, my story, how I originally ignored something because I didn't believe in it. And later on, when I finally understood it, I went all in. Similar way, I didn't believe in Ethereum. Later on, when I did understand it, I went back in, right? Similar way with XRP. When I didn't like the drama with the founders and all of that, how they hold so many coins and that, I dumped it because I don't believe in it anymore, right? Because I'm not going to have faith in something that I believe is going to be dumped on me by the founders. And that's the only thing I've been against. So that was the whole thing about, right? But now I see there's opportunities out there. So I'm like talking about it. Do you know what I mean? Whether you have 1,200 units or 12,000 units, you don't know who I am. I don't know who you are. And let's keep it that way, right? Good luck to you. You keep your taxes, do whatever you need to do. Oh my God, wake up, have a good day. What matters to you? You have nothing. I don't need anything. That's the beautiful thing. I have nothing, and yet you have given me all of your time. You have come to this live stream and spent time typing those words for me. I think I have more than you. Think about it. I have more than you. I have 2 billion people potentially on YouTube who could potentially come across this video. And you've just given me that. I have more than you. Anyway, guys, listen, I need to go. I'll catch you guys on another one very soon. I think this person made it very interesting at the end. Even though we're talking about crypto, this guy's talking about land or whatever. I don't even know how this person actually ended up here. But great. Listen, I don't mean to offend anybody, all right? Whether I'm broke or whether you're broke, it's up to you what you do with it. I mean, end of the day, we all have our own ups and downs, all right? Do I consider myself broke? Yeah. What would make me feel rich if I had $1 billion in my bank, cash, tax paid, everything? Yeah, I'll feel rich. I don't have that. So if that makes me broke, I'm broke. Thank you. Right? And if you have so much money, no problem, right? You can do the super chat, donate it, do whatever. Buy me a coffee. How about that? Right? You're so rich. Shouldn't cost you much. Other than that, I'm not going to say anything else. This is not a plug. I'm not plugging anything, guys. Fuck all of this. So, end of the day, thank you very much for coming to the show. Those of you guys who have come, heard me, listened, and have been patient with me and whoever this person was on the chat. What was the person's name? Michael Wilbur. Thank you, Michael Wilbur, for making the end very interesting. Other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.